to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Check waifu. My Tellionaire. Is that you?
158, we here.
This is episode 158 of Mic Check Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Lube Complex. Make sure you go to lubecomplex.com and use that offer code waifu to save on your entire cart. It's also brought to you by don'ttalkshop.com, as well as our Patreon producers. Shout out to our Patreon producers, AB, Aaron Brown, Dre, the GOAT G, Johnny from Analytical Podcast, Ked, the pro from Chaotic Culture Podcast, explicitly Monique Williams and Nachi. Thank y'all so much for supporting this and many other episodes of the podcast. We couldn't do it without y'all, literally. It means a lot to us. It means the world. Thank you for supporting us. We appreciate you. We appreciate you for sure. This is Mic Check Waifu, the anime podcast is brought to you every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. CST. We talk all things seasonal anime. Today we're going to discuss the summer season takeoff, which literally most episodes of the summer season start in literally this week. The week you're hearing this episode of the podcast is crazy. Fucking Crunchyroll decides to drop the list of stuff that they're dropping, and it was all coming out like next week. So we're here to discuss that, as well as Overlord season 3 wrap up. The rewatch of Overlord is done with Overlord 3 to prepare us for next week, which is Overlord 4, which I might not be able to discuss because I might wait for the dub. That's how much I'm invested in this dub. I love the dub so very much. I can't wait to talk about season 3 because we got some stuff from the listeners on their sleeper hits for the summer, as well as some Overlord 3 stuff. We're going to get to the Overlord 3 stuff when we get to that segment. But Tell, first off, how you feeling, man?
Always good, bro. Always good. Excited. Just to keep doing what we're doing and keep growing here. We got some, we always got some stuff on the way. We always got some great stuff down the pipeline. So I'm good, bro. Feeling good. Family good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Doing good myself. I gotta sip on this tea so I can wake up a little bit. We are recording this at 10:30 at night, or 10:40 to be exact.
And just for to set the kind of standard, it's kind of early for us actually. So Polo is tired. I'm
tired as fuck. Maybe it's his old age catching up with me. I don't know what it is, but I'm exhausted.
Hey y'all, tell this man to shut up. He ain't old. Don't let him pump y'all full of that. He old juice. He ain't old.
Hey, I'm in them dirties, man. Them dirties they definitely different.
Stop it.
They definitely different, man. Them dirties don't. I ain't 20 no more. Let's put it that way. I was looking on Facebook. You know how Facebook, rarely on Facebook, I know. But I was on Facebook and I saw, how they do those old timey, memories.
Yeah.
I saw a picture of me 12 years ago in my Street Smarts V-neck and sitting on this brick wall with the homie Josh, looking like a fucking infant party promoter.
Only difference is 5 pounds in a beard.
5 pounds? Shit, I wish. I had the chin strap, though. I had this chin strap gram on lock in high school.
First of all, you look like a whole child.
A baby, bro.
What's funny, though, is I can't even talk real because Polo had the chin strap, but legit, I didn't even get facial hair until I was 21.
Hey, you had that no, you didn't even have a mustache. You had like 3 chin hairs.
I still barely got a mustache. This motherfucker's still growing. I had like a solid long chin hair. Yeah. And then like 2 little shrimp joints. Nah, bro. Nah. Polo had the chin strap, but he looked like a child. He looked like he was in middle school. But my younger cousin, Ricky, had a whole beard in 7th grade.
Like so his shit was out here. In the 7th.
Right. He had the thickest beard.
He was like 3 years younger than us, right?
He's 2 years younger than me, 3 years younger than you. Just like 2.5 younger. He ain't really that much younger than you, but yeah, like 2.5 years younger than you.
That is how it is. Well, yeah, man, we here. This anime podcast got this episode for this podcast. What the fuck was I saying? This episode for this podcast has a lot to discuss. We got a lot of stuff from Twitter. A lot of people sharing their sleepers this season, this upcoming summer season. I'm looking forward to sharing that with you guys. But first and foremost, I must say, Tel, what was your episode of the week this week?
I'm gonna go with, and look, don't be mad at me, bro. Just hear me out when I say this. I kind of really enjoyed the Love After World Domination episode.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
I think I just like the concept of it. Like at first when I first kind of saw where I thought it was gonna go, I thought it was gonna be like bullshit. I wasn't gonna like it, but as it played out, I was like, all right, I like this. I like this.
You know, for me, this is crazy because this is an easy one. 2 weeks in a row, Shikamori, not just a cutie, hit, and this most recent episode was so fire. Shikamori, not just a cutie, was so fire. It had those moments of suspense and camaraderie that you get in shows that have a close knit friend group that happens a lot in anime, but it felt earned, and I appreciated that. It was definitely earned. So Shikamori, not just a cutie, definitely get this episode of the week for me.
Can I get some thoughts on that real quick?
Yeah.
The only reason I want to get thoughts on this because I did look at the summer list a little bit, obviously.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like episode of the week is gonna be hard.
Think so?
I do.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
I think once everything officially kick off, we're gonna be in here like, what was the episode of the week? And we're gonna be like, it was like 5 of them. It ain't gonna be called a tale. It's gonna be called a damn.
Man, you ain't lying because it's so much shit that's just like powerful. Because there's so much stuff is coming back, right? Like the coming back this season, this season is strong. First off, because for some reason I keep forgetting that Rent a Girlfriend season 2 is dropping next week.
I keep forgetting. I forgot Made in Abyss was coming this season.
Man, listen. On top of that, Classroom of the Elite, like even just the stuff that's coming back alone, bro. The stuff that's coming back alone is going to be hard enough for us to decide. Let alone the new shit. The new shit is going to be looking like it's just as powerful as the returning stuff. So
yeah,
let's just get into some of these inquiries from Twitter. Okay, I just want to go straight to that because it's going to be us talking for the most part about our lists, our summer lists, if you will, and our sleepers. But I want to give Twitter the time to shine. Okay. Man, we got a lot of replies. So where do I want to start? Yeah. Shout out to y'all for replying to the tweet. We appreciate that always. All right, so we're gonna start off with Rob, aka the father of Vash from Dad Needs to Talk podcast. Shout out to Dad Needs to Talk podcast. Make sure you check them out. So he says, for my summer picks, I'm not counting any returning shows. So his number one summer pick is Uncle from Another World. It's his top sleeper pick after reading a few volumes. Number 2, Call of the Night, just for the chill vibes. And then number 3, Yakuza, God's Babysitting, for some wholesome fun. Now, looking at these, Call of the Night, I'm gonna just spoilers, is the one that everybody is like calling for their sleepers in our community. Like that's been the one that everybody's been speaking on. I don't know what that is. I'm actually looking forward to that quite a bit. Because the one thing about it is it's romance comedy. Okay, romance comedy. What it was, romance comedy drama is the genres that's included into that particular show.
It's comedy psychological.
Psychological, yeah.
I don't know, bro. That's a good combination right there.
That's a beautiful combination, and that's what's making it so hard for me to decide my sleeper. Because to be honest, I got between 3. And
me too.
And I'm only going to share one, but I am going to say what the other two runner-ups are. We, Mic Check Waifu host Polo and Tail, has to give you one. Okay, we can't double dip like Twitter can. So keep that in mind.
Don't pull a tail.
My Moody Senpai says, at Moody Senpai says, anime I'm generally intrigued to see brought to life this upcoming season. Call of the Night, Kakaguri Twin, Cyberpunk Edge Runner, the Tunnel to Summer, the Tunnel to Summer, the Exit of Goodbyes. I don't know why I couldn't say that shit. And then she says, although I don't know when we'll get it because it doesn't have a release date for that. But I will say Cyberpunk Edge Runner looks very interesting.
It does. Yeah. It does though, because at first I'm thinking like, is this like kind of like that movie series that came out?
Mm-mm. No,
I know I was thinking about something different. But when I looked at it, I was like, oh, this actually looked kind of hard. And I was like, yeah, I'm putting it on my planning to watch list because yes.
It's based off the board game that's based off the video game that they announced like I think it was like 3 years ago at the Summer Game Awards or something like that.
Yeah. That
this was coming out. I do want to see it because I fucking love Cyberpunk. Like I played it on PC, so all the console people that have trouble with the game and you know the PlayStation 4 players and the Xbox One players, I feel sorry for y'all because Cyberpunk was I think my game of the year that year. It was a fucking incredible game. And I got to do my second playthrough. I actually started a second playthrough. Didn't really get too far into it because I wanted more DLC content. But boy, that game is so good story wise. It's like such a well written game. Unbelievable.
Hey, on your list of RPGs, would they hit you like top 10?
Yeah. 100%.
Top 5?
Yes. Absolutely.
Top 2?
Yakuza Like a Dragon probably being number 1. Mass Effect still number 2.
Okay, see, you know what? You good. You ain't gotta say nothing else. I was thinking Mass Effect was gonna be up there. I just wanted to ask.
Yeah.
But I forgot you love that Yakuza game so much.
Yeah, like Yakuza just passed Mass Effect for me. Like it just passed it because I just beat it recently.
We did kind of go hard on that Mass Effect multiplayer for a little bit, didn't we?
Oh, hell yeah. That shit was fire on Xbox 360. I'll never forget it. Me, you, I think it was me, you, Quentin, and one other person. I can't remember who, but
I don't know why I feel like it was legal, but it wasn't legal. Who was it?
All right, my Xbox 360 days was not even a part of that crew. I forgot who it was too, though.
Yeah. I don't know, but we did go hard on that.
Was
one.
it Mass Effect 2 or 3? If it's 3, then it was probably no. It was 2. It was the 2 multiplayer.
That's what it was. It was definitely 2. It was 2 because I was thinking it, but it was definitely 2.
Yeah. If it was 3, then they were around, but not for 2. I'm looking forward to it though. This Call of the Night got me. When I started seeing that, I started like looking it up, and I'm like, okay, let me not dive too deep into this because if it's gonna be a sleeper, I gotta make sure I keep it as vague as possible for me because that's kind of how I like to pick my sleepers. Let's see. Let's go to Crystal Light 10 on Twitter. She says, I see you put picks this time. Yeah, exactly. Because you know we will pick multiples instead of one. But for sleepers, I pick Engage Kiss. Aha! You go, Crystal. That was one of my 3. And the Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. Also, I agree with the majority of the people saying Call of the Night. But all I need this summer is Devil is a Part-Timer. Ooh, Devil is a Part-Timer Part 2. I'm sure you still haven't watched it yet, the Part 1 yet.
I haven't, but I'm gonna watch it.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed. I know because we had Overlord.
I'm gonna watch it this week, but I still got like 6 episodes of Classroom of the Elite to finish too. So I'm gonna watch that. I'm gonna finish the last 6 episodes of Classroom of the Elite, and I'll be ready.
I'm ready.
I'm gonna be in there. I'm gonna be fresh too. I'm gonna be fresher than you. You ain't even gonna know. You gonna be like, what happened in the last episode?
I'm literally about to watch Classroom of the Elite. Probably as soon as this podcast is over.
Okay.
You know I watched that whole thing in a day.
I know you do.
Devil is a Part-Timer is one I'm for sure looking forward to. Like just to put it into perspective. I sent out a tweet the other day about shows as a reminder to let our friends in our community know, like, reminder, Classroom of the Elite Season 2, Overlord 4, Made in Abyss Season 2, Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2, Don Machi 4, Rent a Girlfriend Season 2, and Shadow House Season 2 are all coming back. I still gotta watch Shadow House. So I might do a classroom of the Elite Watch and then right into Shadow House, so I can be prepared for 2, because that's one that I missed and I definitely regret missing, because it was just a timing thing, right? Like at that time I just couldn't get into it, and it wasn't because of the show. Definitely wasn't because of the show, because it was pretty as hell, very intriguing, and kind of like eye catching with its direction.
It had a high contrast, yes, like, to how it looked. Yeah,
very much so. Very much so. I was interested in watching. I'm like, yeah, I'm not giving this a fair shake. I'm not even. I was half paying attention. I'm like, yeah, I can't do this right now. I just set it aside and forgot to go back to it. But I'm definitely gonna go back to that for sure. For sure. Let's see who else we got here. Shout out to light skin Rob J.
Yo, that picture, bro, I had to go look at it when you said that, man. That's funny.
Light skin Rob J got a lot, so we gonna hold him for later, because he got some Overlord season 3 stuff to say too, which I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to talk about Overlord season 3, because I see some stuff that had me going. Let's go to our boy Ash, our bruv. What's up, bruv? Ash from across the pond says, my sleeper pick. Oh, and shout out to Black Anime Pods on Twitter. Shout out to you and that whole thing you built over there. And they just released a Patreon, so check them out over there. Black Anime Pods on Twitter. He says, my sleeper pick this summer season is Futo Pie. Is it Futo P or Futo Pie? I'm assuming Futo Pie, right?
Yeah, we gonna go with that, because I don't know. I was trying to read it earlier too, just to make sure.
Yeah, he said, and since it's an anime adaptation of the manga sequel to Tokusatsu, and Kamen Rider W. I don't even know what any of that means.
Kamen Rider is, I think, almost like a Power Rangers.
Gotcha. Okay, that's why I don't know what that is. Gotcha. It will largely fly under the radar of the majority of the anime fandom, but based on its source material, so it could potentially be gas. I don't know how to say gas in this accent. I was gonna try, but I changed my mind.
No,
so it's a Power Ranger-esque kind of thing. You definitely right, it's gonna fall under the radar, but I'm expecting you to have some dope takes on your podcast. So I'm looking forward to that on Giant Shooty Robots. Shout out to Giant Shooty Robots. Let's see here. Oh, okay. Yeah, definitely.
You've seen it, just not.
Definitely seen that. Okay, Tell just showed me a picture of what the Comedy W thing is. Yeah, dope. Let's see here. Oh, our boy Gov Pancakes got some Overlord thoughts that we're gonna share a little bit later.
Let's go down.
I'm looking forward to
say your government name, Government Pancakes.
I try not to do that, but you. Let's see. Okay. Shout out to the Black Damn Zilla. He says sleepers for Crunchyroll, Futo P or Pie. For anime, Tokusatsu agenda. Okay, so he pulled in what Ash pulled, and he says my surprise fave pick of 2021 is back. The Shadow House season 2. Definitely curious about Black Summoner, and I saw a clip of how they remade the first fight in Ruby Ice Queendom, and now I'm excited. Yeah, so for me, I didn't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck about Ruby until I saw the most recent trailer. I'm gonna keep it real with you. Ruby seemed trash to me. From everything I saw of it prior to this anime trailer, obviously, I didn't like it.
The history of Ruby is that like it was made by an extremely small group. Mm-hmm. First season looks, obviously a lot of people are not like the first season because it's like it doesn't really look good. And you get into it like, you know, it is what it is. Then you get to season 2 and you see they clearly made upgrades, but that's when like the original creator passed away. And then, you know, that's when they started getting more funding, more backing, and it started to look better. And the story was developing still. And I like Ruby. I think I'm like a season behind, but it is still a really good story from what I've watched so far.
I think this though is a brand new story in itself. Like it's a new launch of the whole thing.
Got you.
From what I've heard via the grapevine, if you will.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. Shout out to J. Lee Trey from Animalytical Podcast. He says it's summer picks and Overlord. He said summer picks and his Overlord 3. The Overlord 3 setups has me hyped for Overlord 4. But his summer picks is Classroom of the Elite, Call of the Night, Kakaguri Twin, and Overlord 4. Avi.
You picked all bangers. Come on,
Bangers.
Jay Lee. You supposed to pick one sleeper, one we don't know, bro. Come on.
Let's call of the Night his sleeper.
All right. Cause we gonna have to make a TikTok about him. Like, hey yo, you gotta pick a sleeper, bro.
Hey, we about to start a TikTok beef with J. Lee Trey just so we can get followers.
Oh goodness, no.
That's funny as hell. Can you imagine?
First of all, we bad at beef in general.
True. That's a fact, let alone beefing with her friend.
Right.
That's hilarious. All right, and last for the Twitter questions, last but not least, or not Twitter questions, but sleeper picks, I should say, from at _ light skin Rob J. He says, last thing for me, my sleepers for the summer season are Call of the Night, My Stepmom's Daughter Is My Ex, Engaged Kiss, and Harem in the Labyrinth. And he put 3 sunglass faces, and he typed laugh my ass off. I wonder why yours is Harem in the Labyrinth, Rob.
I would say, Rob Big, that's those light skin pics, brother.
Definitely some light skin pics. Rob going stupid.
He is. He posted one light skin pic from a year ago, and that man is like, I am committed to this life. That Drake album dropping, Rob J is on it, bro.
Honestly, never mind, man. Never mind. Man, yeah. I appreciate y'all for writing in. And the rest of this is Overlord 3 stuff, so we're going to get to that a little bit later. But I must say, Tel, you came up with the idea of let's us create a top 5 that we're most excited for this summer season.
Yes.
Top 5, does it matter which order? Like, is number 1 more excited than number 5?
Do it however you want to. Your top 5 is however you want it.
Okay. And then I'll just do it like this. You want me to just go all the way through my top 5?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. All right. So I must say, Made in Abyss, Classroom of the Elite 2, Overlord 4, Devil is a Part-Timer Season 2. And then just to throw in something that's not like quote unquote well known, if you will, let's go with My Isekai Life. I gained a second character class and became overpowered, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Isekai Life, I gained a second character class and became the world's strongest sage, or the strongest sage in the world. What's your top 5?
The ones I'm excited for are in order.
Ooh, okay.
Made in Abyss, Overlord.
This is going from 5. Wait. Is this going from 5 to 1?
From 1 to 5.
1 to 5. Okay.
Yeah, Made in Abyss is number 1. Overlord, Shadow's House, Rent a Girlfriend, and Is It Wrong to Pick Up Girls in the Dungeon?
Damachi. Okay.
Yeah. And I had an honorable one, which is Ruby, but that's just because I really enjoy Ruby in general.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, to get to some of these ones we don't know nothing about, there's quite a few. Now, in my planning list, I added, of course, Call of the Night. But I also added something called My Stepmom's Daughter Is My Ex. It's a comedy romance. I'm looking forward to seeing what this is going to be about. Because it sounds like some domestic girlfriend kind of stuff, but a funny version, a comedic version of that.
Yeah. So one of the ones I was excited for was and I don't know if you excited for this one, but as soon as I saw it, I'm gonna check it out just regardless. It's gonna be funny and it's gonna have some action. But Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World.
Yes. That. Yep.
I had that set that on my planning to watch because I don't know. It sounds like a good time.
Yeah. Well, it's a good time for Mic Check Waifu. Already.
Always.
So along those same lines, wait, which one did you say? Just say. Make sure I got that right.
Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. So Vermeil and Gold was one that I was also looking at in the same realm of that. It's about a magic academy. It's one of the school ones, kind of like how the usuals are, the chivalries of a failed knights, the irregular high school. So that one I'm also looking forward to for plot reasons.
Plot reasons, Polo?
Absolutely.
I actually had that one set on my plan to watch too.
Yep.
I also have. Where is it at? Someone talked about this just recently, but Black Summoner.
Yes.
I put that one on my planning to watch because, like,
Same.
first of all, it sounds cool. But yeah. Also, the picture just looks dope. So it's like we got a nice little. I'm hoping it's good.
Same. I got a feeling it will be though. Something telling me it will be. Engaged Kiss for me is also on my list. Action comedy romance. Somebody mentioned that on their list as well, but I was shocked that it was actually on somebody's list because I could have sworn this was going to be one that most people skip, like they do with kind of these sort of shows.
And then I got one that kind of gave me, what was that name of that show with the Rust Eater vibes?
Sabikoi Bisco.
Yeah, Sabikoi Bisco. So one that gave me a similar vibe, Shine On, Bakumatsu Bad Boys. I don't necessarily think it's gonna be good, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna give it a try.
I saw you add that to your planning. I saw that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a try anyway because I'm hoping that it's good, and then watch it hit me in the face with the mad extra shonen shonen
Per
stuff.
usual shit.
Nothing against shonen. I'm just saying I hope that it's better than. I'm giving it a chance. That's what I'm saying. That's all.
I mean, with everything that we mentioned, my last one is one that I'm actually really looking forward to, and that's the maid I hired recently is Mysterious. Now, I want to read this one because this is very interesting. There's something really strange about the maid I just hired. No normal person can be so beautiful or cook such an amazingly delicious food or know exactly what I want even before I ask. She must be using magic, right? A spell is the only thing that can explain my chest feels so tight whenever I look at her. I swear I'm going to get to the bottom of this, of what makes this maid so mysterious. Now, I wanted to read that because I love the fact that it was done in the perspective of the character. Yeah. And that alone had me like, oh shit. Now, this one ain't coming out for another 26 goddamn days, but this is definitely
based on what
list.
you just read, that sounds like it's gonna have some of the best like introspection.
Yes.
Wow.
Like, what is she doing to know? Just know. It reminds me of the Duke of Death and his maid, the show I talked about recently on a few weeks back.
Yes, sir.
That was a very, very good show. Very, very good show. Like one of my probably top 10 romances, to be honest. It was so fucking good.
I mean, you did hype that up, so I know you love that show.
It's fire. It's fire. All right, and you got any others in your list?
Nah, only thing I got left to talk about is my sleeper choice.
Copy that. Let's do it. What shall be King Teliano at King Teliano on Twitter, Instagram, and others? What is your sleeper?
So ironically, my sleeper choice is one that Polo mentioned today.
Talk to me.
I had 3 choices I was choosing from.
Nope, just one. I don't want to hear that.
I'm choosing this one, but the ones I had on my list for possible sleepers were going to be Black Summoner, Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. But the one I had at number 1 was My Isekai Life.
Interesting. Okay.
And I just feel like that's going to be a good one. I feel like I can't miss on that one.
Okay.
I can't miss on that one. So let's see what Polo got for us.
Oh man, that's a great choice. That was one of my 3, by the way.
I figured the name just fit for us.
It most certainly does. Damn man. So I'm gonna just the 3 I got was My Isekai Life, Engage Kiss, and unfortunately, it's what everyone already picked, and that's Call of the Night. Now, out of those, I'm going to have to say Call of the Night is going to be my sleeper. Fuck.
Damn it, Polo. I was going to say go with Engage Kiss because I feel like we're going to watch Call of the Night anyway. But if you go with Engage Kiss, I'm going to lock in. I'm going to watch it.
But you have to. You're going to have to watch Engage Kiss too. Come on.
Am I?
Yes, in 5 days. It's an A1 picture anime. Are you kidding me? You know the love we give A1 pictures.
All right.
Gotta do it.
Right.
Gotta do it, bro. We gotta do it.
Sorry, you set the plan anyway.
I know, right? Project 9 is the one doing my stepmom and my stepmom's daughter is my ex. Nice. I like Project 9 a lot. All right, it's a new studio doing My Devil is a Part-Timer too, Crystal. So let's have our fingers crossed and hope that it's good.
I gotta deal with a change in a week when I see the new episodes.
True. Because My Devil is a Part-Timer season 1 was fucking fire when it came to animation too. Even as like the minimal action, I wouldn't say minimal action. It had some pretty decent action in it, but the action it had in it was fucking fire. It was fire. All right, so Overlord 3, brother. Overlord 3. Yeah, let's get to it.
I was gonna say I made this. Go ahead.
Before we get to that, I have to say this is the part of the show where we talk about our rewatch of Overlord. We've started 3 weeks ago with Overlord 1, Overlord 2, and now we're on Overlord 3. We're going to not really recap Overlord 3, but we're going to talk about our favorite moments, share some facts about the show, and just say what we overall think of it. So if you watch Overlord with us, stick around. If you haven't, still stick around. Just listen. Have some fun.
So last week I found out Polo watched all 3 seasons of Overlord in a matter of like 48 hours or something like that, right?
Yeah.
So he really ain't shit, even though he my brother. He low key just left me in the dirt. Didn't even give me a heads up. We could have reviewed the whole thing that week.
I just for the listeners, you know.
But let me just say something real quick. I was very surprised with the praise that Polo provided to Overlord, right? Like I knew that he liked Overlord, but he almost praised this like it was Grimgar. And I don't know, y'all listen, y'all know, the ones who listen, who have been listening for a long time, y'all know how we kind of covet Grimgar,
yes,
especially on the Isekai field. Like
one of the greatest of all time.
Grimgar is almost like how I treat like Full Metal Alchemist. It's not on my top 5, but it's still like my top 1 kind of thing, right? Yeah. It's a masterpiece. It's a work of art, and that's how we feel about Grimgar. Grimgar is like a work of art, and for Polo to talk about Overlord like this, I feel like that's really high praise, coming from him and his experience with other isekai. But so that's just kind of the introduction I wanted to give on that. But I enjoyed this season. As usual, I think there was definitely a shift in the dynamic for this season where it was more, let's say, outside character driven, which to me provided a steady flow of different, like, I would say, like, economic dynamics to look at in terms of how the series progressed.
Yeah, so as far as what you were talking about when it came to Overlord 3, you said the dynamic, right? And it gave us the other characters. Where I want to go with this, because what made Overlord 3 so even just as good as 1 and 2 for me is that the fact that they did that in order to give us something way larger later on in the season. It was everything that they do. And what's funny is that the way the light novel is set up, the light novel is set up to where everything's done out of order. So where episode 4 was or whatever it was, which I think episode 4 or something like that was I think the Tomb of Nazareth being invaded. That was like episode 1, and then it was just it's just all like it's going in chronological order opposed to how the light novel did it in a different kind of order to set up like comedic beats and stuff like that. But I digress. This shit had me wondering like where are you going with this, right? It had me thinking. It constantly had me thinking like where is this going? Why haven't I feel like we've been progressing? And lo and behold, the entire season, we've actually been progressing to the point that we end up getting to at the last episode when the end credits start rolling. It's fucking incredible. It's an incredible show. And even from the perspective of Ainz learning that the his guardians are helping him take over the world. He didn't even know that was the plan. This entire time, he was in the fucking dark about the plan being world domination. Fucking fire.
And the coolest part about that, even, right, is that it's not like he hasn't been taking steps towards that. Mm-hmm. You know, like his goal is to spread the name of Ainz Al Gon, but he's really doing stuff that sets him up well to take over the world, right?
Yep.
That's what he's doing. Regardless of what he's saying, he's doing that extremely well. And a lot of it is because of how overpowered he is, that he almost doesn't even have like a choice in the matter because of how strong he is. But his guardians as well are so ridiculously strong that to find someone on par with them,
I mean,
not really a thing.
Right. We touched on that last week. We talked about how just as powerful as everybody is. Like, I think their lowest level person is like level 50, and that's like one of the battle maids. Like the battle maids are like between 40 and 50. Everybody is insanely powerful for this world. Now, there was one question that we received from one of our faves, so very unrelated. She says, oh gosh darn it, I had it pulled up. Not gosh darn it, but let's see here. There it is. Yeah, she says, so which massacre do you prefer? This is so very unrelated on Twitter. She says, which massacre do you prefer? The end of Overlord season 3 or Rimuru versus Foulmouth, the heretic church, and time I got reincarnated as a slime. Which massacre do you prefer? What a great question. Because we're demons here.
We are. I think that this kind of question isn't really more about like which massacre you prefer, because they kind of did very similar things, but one of them I feel like, well, Ainz definitely killed more people.
100%.
But it's more about like, do you want like the justified redemption massacre, or do you want the outright show of strength to overwhelm any idea of even looking at you in the wrong kind of light?
Can I interject?
Go ahead.
Overlord season 3. I'm gonna just say it. I choose that, and the reason being is because yes, it's not as noble as what Rimuru was doing for his people, right? It's not that noble. What it is though, is it is humbling. Very fucking humbling to the people of the kingdom, because if you remember correctly, our boy Gazif was trying to tell the motherfuckers like, yeah, don't do that. Yeah, you don't want to go against Ainz. Don't fuck with him. And they're like, oh, I'm not worried about that. We'll send 5,000 men should be enough for Ainz. We'll have 5,000 men with you to take care of the situation. You'll do fine with that. Gazif was like, yo, no. We're all gonna die, basically. And that right there, that moment, them being humble like that at that particular moment was so fucking cool, because I'm like, hell yeah. I felt sorry for the king, because I did like the king, but fuck him.
Hear me out, because while I agree with what you just said, I have a small gripe with what you said.
What's up?
You said 5,000 people. Ainz did not kill 5,000 people.
No, I'm saying that's how many people the nobles sent with Gazif to kill Ainz.
Because there was 240,000 troops there.
Yeah, that was for the war. The 240,000 troops was for the war. I'm talking about the 5,000 they sent with Gazif to try to kill Ainz.
No, I get that. what I'm saying is that his spell instantly killed 70,000 people on the battlefield.
Yep.
The only spell he cast to begin with, when he just said, "Hi, I'm Ainz Al Ghun," his introduction was 70,000 people collapsing on the ground.
Yep. Super tier magic.
Not to mention what that spell proceeded to do after that. Yes, Polo is right. It's extremely humbling. And I think that looking at I like Rimru's more in terms of like how it was presented to us, but looking at that in the light of what Polo just said, yeah, bro, that was some demonic shit.
Very
that
much
was
so.
that was it. And the thing is that when Rimuru did it, his thing, he didn't kill 70,000. He killed like what, 10,000 people, something like that. 10,000 lives.
10,000,
yeah. Rimuru also didn't really feel like the strongest in his world when he did it.
Right.
Ainz, I don't even know who can pull up and say, "I'm stopping a dude who killed 70,000 people by just for a summoning spell." It was a summoning spell.
Right. So
he's got to have worse.
Right. So what did you? He definitely does have worse. By the way, he has a spell called Sharknado, and it is exactly what it sounds like. Sharknado. It's a tornado full of sharks that can send people. It's fucking insane. Now, what did you think about the Gazif Ainz quote unquote fight?
That was one of my favorite moments in the anime in general.
Talk to me.
So, you want me to kind of explain why it's my favorite, or just
why it's your favorite?
So you know how we come into that fight, right? Gazov is a gentleman who has extreme respect for Ainz, and for what I liked about it is that Gazov showed that he knew the scenario he was in, that he wasn't surviving, and he knew what was in front of him. No one else knew exactly what was in front of them. He knew from the beginning, and he told Ainz, like, I can't betray I can't betray my word. This is what it is.
Yep.
And he stood up with Ainz, challenged him to a duel, and had no idea what was going to happen. But what Ainz did the entire time, regardless of how he does not really care for the lives of humans, he respected Gazov.
He tried his best to bring Gazov on his team.
And he killed him with an instant death spell. So there was no pain to Gazov. Gazov, as soon as the battle started, had no idea he died.
Yep.
No idea.
Painless.
But he even offered to bring him back, and Gazov said, "That's not my place."
Yep.
And I just looked at that as a scenario where, like, I fuck with that. And now, I think Gazov was noble. Do I think he would have been more noble? He could have found other ways to be more noble, definitely. But that was one of the best moments in the anime for me, specifically because it just felt like two characters took a stand against each other who honestly liked each other and did what needed to be done to progress their own mean.
Yeah. To put it in perspective, Ainz can only cast the instant death spell on anybody below level 60. If you're above level 60, then I think he has to. No.
You probably has to lower your health first.
No. I think he can cast it on anybody. You know what? That's exactly what it is. He can't cast it on anybody, no matter what, except for like guardians and shit of level 100, because they have an immunity to it. If they have an immunity to it, he can't cast it because obviously they're immune to it. But there is a way he can cause it to happen, because he is one of the top 5% players in Idrisil when the game was live, to have the ability to cast chrono magic. Which is time magic, which means that he can literally stop time. So the instant death spell technically is a 12 second cast time. So it's supposed to take him 12 seconds to cast instant death on somebody. And if anybody has ever played an MMO or anything with cast times, 12 seconds is a fucking eternity. Like 12 seconds is a very long time when it comes to casting the spell, which can be stopped by just throwing the spell at that person and interrupting him. But because Ainz can cast chrono magic, what he did, and what wasn't explained in the anime, was he stopped time. He stopped time, and when he stopped time, that's when he walked up to Gazif and cast the instant death spell, which took the 12 seconds and killed him. But
Yeah.
I digress. I just had to share that little tidbit. Now,
yeah, so I did realize he cast a time spell, obviously, but that I didn't know that it was a time delay on it. Well, he did say delay magic. He did say that, didn't he?
Yep.
Delay magic, instant death. Yep, he did say that. And I was trying to figure out why he said delay magic, but it makes sense why he said delay magic.
Yep. And that's what fucking makes the show so good. Just because it's so fucking detailed with its world and lore. It's so fucking phenomenal.
And what I'm trying to figure out is, so what's the context for delay magic? Did he delay magic the time spell so the time spell lasts longer and the instant death spell can take its full 12 seconds to cast? Is that what it was?
Exactly right. Exactly right. It's fucking phenomenal. It's great. It's great. Now
that's intricate. That's good. That's good writing.
It's very much good writing. That's why I love it so much. And now to touch back on to what you said about the whole I forget? Grimgar.
Yeah, it's off. Oh, Grimgar. Yeah, go ahead.
The reason why I'm talking up Overlord so much, and I have more of it. That's just plain and simple. I have more of it. Grimgar is an absolute masterpiece. An absolute masterpiece. Overlord is not better than Grimgar, and it probably never will be. But for what Overlord is, the world building and everything that it has, I have more of it. So that's why I'm kind of invested in it. I'm happy to talk about it, and it covers something that I enjoy. Like, I know most isekais do cover like MMOs. Like, that's just what most of them are about, which have a deep place in my heart because that's the game I play, that's the game I stream, blah blah blah. It's fucking phenomenal to just be so invested into something that's so detailed that I gotta give it its flowers. Like, you cannot not appreciate what this game, as a game fan myself, cannot appreciate what they're doing. Like, there's no way.
Yeah, and that's one of the things I was looking at, is that this, based on your research, because Polo's been bringing research to this podcast every week about Overlord, and I think that's what's been impressing me the most, is like the extra details on how things happen and why they happen.
Right.
And you know, the writer creator of this, they clearly love their MMOs, and this is like a love story to MMOs, but you get to be the boss. You get to be the raid boss. Facts. So you're the final boss in this series, being Ain Zalgun, but that you're unbeatable is what it feels like. And like I said, it's a love story to that.
Very, very much so. Let's go to Twitter and talk about some of the hits that's in here. Rob starts off and says, "Okay, I just finished season 3, and I'm not going to lie, it's probably my least favorite season out of 3. I did enjoy it, but the other two, I did enjoy it, but compared to the other two, this one ranks last for me. I think I like season 2 the best. Man, I had a blast watching this anime though. Ainz is insanely OP, and I can't wait for season 4." He also says Ainz just be toying with people. Him setting up these fake scenarios is hilarious. I'm looking forward to seeing if we find out about the priest who took over Shautir at the end of season 1, and I wonder if we'll get flashbacks to Momonga's life in the real world. Ooh, well said, Rob.
That would be dope.
That would be super dope. Now, as far as him liking this the least, I don't think I can agree.
I don't necessarily agree either, and I don't think it was particularly like the most action-packed season.
Right.
I do think that there were some interesting moments, like when you talk about him setting up these fake scenarios. Like, I think about the village with Henry and them, and they got the goblins who pop up, and it's like, it showed us different dynamics, right? So we know that was the
very ugly
prince.
CGI, by the way.
Yeah, it is. The CGI is horrible. But the prince came with his own 5,000 army people, right?
Yep.
So he pulls up and he's like thinking, obviously, that he's gonna have this overwhelming victory, and it's not looking that way for you right now, bruh. Because of the fact that he gave her this world item, right? This super rare item, but because of how the world is currently set up.
Talking about, actually, it was a trash tier item. It was the goblin horns were just gifts from the Christmas special that they had inside of the game. So everybody had it.
But the idea that because of who she is, because of her own, let's say
heart.
Compromises and heart and stuff like that, she was able to summon literally
the strongest goblin force.
The strongest goblin force in the world with 0 casualties. And you know what impressed me the most? Do you know how red caps work?
Red caps?
Red caps, the goblins with the red hats on.
Yeah.
So they basically go into a murderous raid whenever they see blood. So they're basically like goblin berserkers. And I was like, and when these motherfuckers about to die. They about to die. This is gonna be gruesome.
And when she sent them off after the prince, I was like, yo, damn, that's so fucked up.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, what's crazy is that he mentioned the Shoutier thing. What you got to understand, Rob, is that this whole, like, after season 1, everything that happens past that Shoutier moment is them trying to figure it out. It's them planting the seeds to try to figure it out. Now, to touch on that real quick, what they did in season 3 was they they made moves. Specifically, Demiurge made moves to set up a plan to where they can stop having to move in the shadows. Because the problem with Overlord, with the Great Tomb of Nazarick in itself, they came into this world hidden, trying to learn about the world to figure out how they can navigate it. Now, after season 2, they figured out how to navigate it a lot more. And Demiurge decided to put the actual plan in place. He did that at the end of season 2. So with the actual plan in place, that requires them to then have the Tomb of Nazarick be discovered, to then get the Emperor to do what he did when he sent the noble to send in the workers to then figure out what the Great Tomb was. Like it was genius. It was all set up. It was all a part of Demiurge's plan for them to be set up just how they were. And it was fucking incredible. So now, with that all being set up the way it is, this is when we finally figure out. Like, all of that was in place to figure out who had the power to mind control Shoutier. Like, it was never not a moment in this season, or season 2 even, where they weren't trying to figure out who mind control Shoutier. They just had to do it the long game way. And unfortunately, in MMOs, you can call this the grind, because so now that they did the plan, they got the Demiurge put the plan in motion, they got the workers to invade, the workers got obviously destroyed. Not only was that for them to test the Great Tomb of Nazarick's defenses, for one, to see if these people can actually put a dent inside of their defenses, but it was also for them to see if they would send anybody powerful enough to the Great Tomb where they can then figure out, oh, maybe this is the person that mind control Shoutier. Obviously, all of them was low tier workers. All of them was bullshit. That didn't quite plan out how they wanted it to, but it did give them the opportunity to then have the prince come apologize. And that was all a part of the Demiurge's plan, because once the prince acknowledged him and saw his power and came to apologize, that's when they can start moving in the open instead of the shadows like they've been doing for 3 seasons.
Yeah, and my question to you is, because you might know this better than I do, were they actually low tier? Because I thought they were like middle tier to upper high tier. Like, they weren't adamantite, which is obviously the highest, but I thought they were like just under adamantite, like two, maybe 1 or 2.
Yeah, it was a bunch of mithril people.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because the one who was by himself with the slaves, he was higher for sure.
Yep.
Like, he was almost adamantite.
He was on the same level as Gazif. He was level 30. So, I mean,
but got smoked. Ugh.
But got destroyed. But got destroyed by Hamtaro at that.
Hey, go Ham Town.
But so to think that it hasn't, the plan was not to find out who mind control Shoutier. That's literally what the entire show is about. It went from just trying to find people to determine who might be there also from Yggdrasil, and try to find maybe a friend or something, or anybody from the game. It evolved from that to who mind control Shoutier. So that's something to keep in mind. It was always a part of the plan. And that leads me to the next question. Not really the next question, but the next comment from our homie Gov Pancakes, which kind of bothered me a little, but I'm gonna let him get his shit off. He says Overlord 3 isn't that great because it takes away from what makes that series awesome. The fucking main character. I don't care about these other people. They definitely need an episode or two, but not a whole season. Where's my casting to kill, bruh? He says it's still good though, but we just don't care. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. Guff, aka Allen. There's no fucking way.
Here's some things I'll say, right?
Talk to me.
If this was the world with Anos Voldigold, then maybe I would agree with that. But there are characters outside of Ainz Al Ghun that I really fuck with in this show.
Yes.
And like I said, Gazov being one of them.
I even fuck with Brain.
I was gonna say Brain. I fuck with him. And even the little dude with his little shiny armor on, talking about I'm wearing this armor out to battle because it's gonna draw attention. It'll hopefully, first of all, sir, if I ain't see you with that armor on,
you get smoked.
It don't matter. But you know, like these characters, and I think they did a really good job at season 2 introducing the relationship with these characters. Because if you remember, I mean, at least 2 of them we knew from season 1, Brain and Gazov.
And the girl Ari, or what's her name?
Yeah.
I think her name's Ari.
Yeah. But in season 2, they gave them some more time, right? But yeah, we still had a ton of time with our main characters. But in season 3, these characters got like a spotlight, right?
Yes.
Like they got a spotlight, and we still watched as nothing they did mattered. And that, exactly, to me, if anything, that amplified the times that we did not see Ainz Al Ghun, our main character. What it did was it took us out of the scenario where our main character is the main character and made us view him as the opposition for a change, right?
Yes.
And when you make something like Ainz Al Ghun, the opposition, and you see him instant kill someone who is known as a legendary warrior throughout the kingdoms, yes, bro, that is still Ainz shining, bro.
Yes, man.
That's how I feel about it. I don't know if Polo feel the same, but that's how I feel.
Absolutely feel the same.
And I sincerely hope that, I can help your perspective with that statement alone.
And yeah, bro, I couldn't have said it better myself. That was so well put. Like I feel like I don't even need to add anything. Like it truly is exactly everything you just said to a T. Like understand, like when you have a situation like this, what makes it so good is being able to develop the world around a main character. A good main character is very important. It's probably one of the most important things ever. But to be able to develop these side characters on top of the main characters, I know you probably just want to see the Great Tomb of Nazareth. You probably just want to see the Guardians. You probably just want to see them. But what's important is the way they deliver the story in the perspective of the workers, right? We got that party that you pseudo kind of care for until they get into the Great Tomb of Nazareth. Because of that moment when they're in the Colosseum with eyes, you kind of like, oh shit, damn. The guy and the elf girl, they love each other, and you got the nice Catholic boy or whatever you want to call him, the priest, and then you got the witch who's trying to take care of his sister, who's trying to take care of her sisters, who are in this home with these fucking noble parents who's fucking everything up because they decided to spend all their money, and they're gone at a snap of a fucking a Thanos snap. They're gone, and that shit was incredible. That's incredible story development. I love that shit.
You want to know what makes it even better?
What?
Is that we got y'all to rewatch season 1, 2, and 3 just to get ready for season 4 that's about to be here. So you about to jump into this new season and watch how they introduce Temple of Nazareth for us again.
Ooh.
And you probably gonna be like, hold up, everything I felt about season 3 that I thought I didn't like probably just amplified season 4 for me.
And that's exactly what Alicization arc did for Sword Art. All those seasons that y'all say was terrible, like outside of season 1, Alicization was like, nah, that shit was just as important. You know, like
it built up everything.
Everything happens for a reason. Take your anime that you know that have continuations and just expect it to be like everything happened for a reason. You know, I watched a video today. Okay, side tangent. I watched a video about 86. Oh my God, bro. The contrast. I'm going to send you this video, Tell. You got to watch it. And we're going to probably discuss it next week or something like that. Video fucking blew my mind. All the contrasts and just the director and the way he moved with the fucking the composer. Like the way they moved for the show was way more incredible than we thought. But when you have shows that can do that, right? That can carry and like move plot as well as something like Overlord does and bringing these characters in different situations, it's what makes anime so impressive to me. It's what makes anime so much better than TV and movies for me personally.
And I'm going to speak on behalf of Mike Check Waifu when I say this. Anime like, let's say, ReZero, like Baby Fluorite Eye Song, like 86, like Overlord. What they do really good is they lead you into this almost like false sense of security where like, yes, there was action, but right now this is a lull, a little bit of a downtime.
For a reason.
For a reason, yeah. Now, when that story hits you, that downtime's going to probably make a lot of sense for you. And if it didn't make sense for you, it's because you didn't care. You probably overlooked it and just kept going.
Yeah.
But all of this downtime in this anime, it really does have an impact on how you're going to see the future of this anime.
Yeah.
So I sincerely hope that, like I said earlier, I hope that the perspective changes a little bit, because give it a chance, you know, on those moments that you don't really like, because when it comes back around, it's going to mean a lot, you know?
And I promise you, you're going to see more Hines. You're going to see more of the Guardians, particularly in Overlord 4. Like, just, you're going to see them. There's no way in hell you're not. But know that the reason why you're not and the reason why you learn about these other characters is because it's for a reason, man. I'm so interested. Okay, so wrap up Overlord 3. What are you most excited to see from what we got in season 3 or Overlord 3 and Overlord 4, which premieres next week?
What I hate to say is I completely have no idea what I'm excited to see. I'm gonna just be real. I'm excited for all of it. Yeah. I just wanted to come on because after watching this, I kind of realized that like I didn't really predict any of this show.
Same.
When I first watched it, I really didn't predict it. And even when Irons was telling us like he had no idea what was happening, like it felt like almost like instinctual on a character level, but to kind of see it unfold, like I have no idea. I want to just see it all. I would love to see, I guess, more progression into who might be his opposition. But even if it's just him continuing his world domination, like, and it's like another great, plot laid out for us for that, I'm cool with that. So I have no idea what I'm looking forward to yet, because I know it's going to give me a little bit of all of it. I
watched the trailer. I watched all 3 trailers for Overlord. There was one trailer 3 in particular. Shout Tear fucking pops off in her armor against an entire army. It looks like I'm excited to see whatever the fuck that is, because seeing the most powerful Guardian in her full getup, bruh, fire. I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see whatever she's killing. Don't stand a fucking chance in hell.
Because she's killing it.
There's a fucking, I think at the end of the trailer, there's like a pile of dead bodies that she's just standing on. I can't wait to see what that is. And the animation, looks top tier. Madhouse
they
popped
probably
off.
fixed their CGI.
Yeah, straight up. They had to. They fucking had to. It's still Madhouse Studios, so we'll see if the CGI is better, but I got a feeling they will, because Overlord makes too much money.
Especially at this point, right?
Straight up.
And I'm so happy they didn't rush it, bro, because they could have rushed into season 4 and just gave us whatever the fuck. But they didn't, bro. They let the story continue and then said, all right, season 4 is ready. Let's animate it.
All right. Let's get to know Mike Check. Let's get to know Mike Check Waifu. This is part of the podcast where one of us rolls a random number generator. The other reads a question associated with that number. It's my turn to roll the random number generator. Tell turn and read the question.
23 questions.
23 questions. LeBron. Oh shit. You might want to turn on your numlock, Polo. We're gonna generate.
Almost. Ain't having it.
He said, "No, not today."
I said, "Not today. Not a random number generator for me."
That must be down. Okay, well, I'll just go to an actual website then, like a weirdo. 23. Hey, 23. That's funny.
All right. What anime is guaranteed to hit you right in the feels? Now, Polos, obviously.
Clannad. It changed my whole viewing experience. I mean, I mention it fucking every week, it feels like. But yes, Clannad.
I'm going to go with Steins Gate.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I will never go to.
You said what? You went on Robot-y.
I said I'll never get over Kirisu.
Get over Kirisu. Oh, yeah.
Never.
My queen.
Yeah, my queen. she only had one. So we gonna fight to the death for that one.
And I just feel sorry for Okabe, bro. Still to this day.
Yeah, and you ever see the comparison of like what Subaru had to go through versus him, and it's like who has it worse? And I was like, bro traveled for thousands of years, lifetimes.
Yeah.
To get back to where he was trying to go.
But Subaru still felt the pain of all those deaths. Like, you can't. How do you
can't really compare these two things. They're both horrible.
Oh, so terrible, man. So terrible, bro. God damn it, man. I'm gonna put a poll up on our Twitter on the day that this episode drops. Who had it worse, Okabe or Subaru?
I don't know, bro. I don't know.
let's let Twitter decide for us, bro. Who knows, man? Who knows? But they get you. You have to have only watched all 3 seasons of Steins Gate and all of ReZero. So keep that in mind before you vote. Check the poll on our Twitter for the announcement of this episode. It'll be there. And we'll discuss it next week because I'm very curious. I'm very curious to see. All right. When we come back, we are going to spoil the last episode for this core of Spy Family. The last episode of Tomodachi Game. And what else was it?
Spy Family, Tomodachi Game.
Summertime Rendering.
Summertime Rendering, yeah.
Tripping. I'm drunk. All right, we'll be right back after these. welcome back to episode 158 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at Mic Check Waifu, at Polo Bornfly, and at King Teliano. We appreciate you. And then why not support us at patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Let's spoil Spy Family, the last of this core, which means episode 12 of part 1 of season 1 of Spy Family. I mean, for me, to be honest, it was appropriate, I think.
Yeah.
It wasn't nothing too drastic, but it was a little bit more than what we've been getting lately, but not as much because, again, remember, they have announced that Spy Family was going to be in 2 cores at the very start of the season. So we knew that this isn't the last episode of season 1. It's just a mid-break, which is perfectly fine, which I'm okay with.
I thought the episode was interesting, especially with like the whole learning that he memorized the penguins' faces and stuff like that. I thought that was dope. But also, like, I expected more of a cliffhanger.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't do that though.
I mean, but I kind of felt like because if they already guaranteed we're getting at least 12 more episodes this year, I expected a cliffhanger because it was like, I guess, to create anticipation. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying I'm upset there's not a cliffhanger, but I expected a little bit of a cliffhanger. But also with how almost like wholesome this series has been, what I don't think they could have introduced a cliffhanger without us being almost like confused at the end.
Right. They've always ended on the end on every episode. Like, yeah. No matter what, it's always been the end. Even though I thought it was going to be about a dog this time, mm-hmm. but it wasn't. So it's kind of felt like a special, like one of those special episodes that they be having sometimes. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the chillness of it. To rewind, this is fucking so strange to even throw this in there, but I just thought about this. You know that video I discussed with you about 86?
Yeah.
Did you know, this is fucking crazy, I'm still sending you the video, but did you know that it was 86 days before, from the start of episode 1 of 86 to the fucking season finale of 86? It was 86 days in between, including those breaks. That's fucking crazy.
Look, the writers was not fucking around with us. It wasn't. They did show us the date every time too.
Mm-hmm. Wow, dude, it was wild. But yeah, great episode of Spy Family. I mean, it's not really much to discuss. Anya can actually hear the thoughts of penguins, of animals too.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
She just said it's harder though,
Absolutely, which makes sense. Well,
because they don't have a comprehension. They're not really like smart, right?
Exactly.
So I guess I would think of it almost like as your telepathy has to interpret what they're thinking before it gives it to you. It's almost like having a mind reading device that
translates basically.
Yeah, it's got to translate it. Yeah,
that makes sense. I loved it though. I still love yours best girl this season for sure. Yeah, for sure. I'm really much else to say about Spy Family. Another good episode. Don't stop. It ain't gonna stop, I don't think. But next up, Tomodachi Game wrapped up its season. Good to know that we're probably gonna get a season 2 or part 2 of season 1. I don't know. I don't know about the announcements with this one, but very interesting last episode though.
Yeah, I think it's clear that this series just had a better end than it had a beginning. But the beginning, it's another one of those things like we talked about before, where the beginning starts to kind of pile up and you appreciate the beginning more at the end. Right? So I do appreciate the beginning now after seeing how everything played out. But when we first were here, I was like, this is almost like the 3-episode rule where I got to drop it.
That's crazy to me.
It's so good at this end, and I loved what our main character did with the boss of this group.
It was fire, bro.
He asked questions for a reason.
Yep.
And then delivered on letting everybody see how he really is. Come on, bro.
So fire, bro. So fire. Such a good, like, and then not even just like when he gets to his scheming moments, like when his mind starts to scheming, that shit sends me into like this I get this like this almost endorphin rush, right? Where it's like, oh, he about to fuck some shit up. where shit just changed, and I'm like, oh hell yeah, I can't wait to see what's about to happen. I get excited. I know I'm supposed to be disturbed or whatever the case may be, but
why?
I don't know. I feel like it's supposed to be disturbing, but it's not. It's fucking incredible. I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. Let's get your fucking what's the name? Leosh from from what's this called? Fuck. Why can't I think of the name?
I know the name, but I don't know where it's from.
Code Geass.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, get my Code Geass on. Lelouch from Code Geass is funny. Yeah, man. It was a good episode. What I really enjoyed was how the chick acted after she saw how he took all that punishment for her. I appreciate how she finally actually trusts him again, even though I still feel like maybe she's not scheming. Maybe everything I said about her was wrong. Maybe she's just honest.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Moody tweeted that Tamagotchi game was good.
It was.
And I agree. Now, I do think, I feel like the character we thought was stupid ain't really stupid.
Oh, yeah. I think we both said that last week, didn't we?
Yeah, I feel like we've been played. Obviously, I don't think he killed his dad, but I definitely feel like we're getting played right now.
You don't think his dad is dead?
No, I don't. His dad might be dead, but I don't think he did it. But I think that we being played though. That like dude is definitely probably like a genius, and I actually think that they all might be like extremely clever to some extent.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Remember? I thought that about the girl. I thought she was on some bullshit. I thought she set up this whole, maybe she still did. Who knows?
But I just feel like we're getting more and more details pointing in that direction now. That almost makes it feel like, nah, they all some fucking psychopath geniuses out here.
Straight up.
I don't know who to trust.
What's had me so interested is, and this is probably why I like it actually, and why I liked it from the beginning. It reminds me of Danganronpa, and I don't know if you're familiar with what Danganronpa is. Mm-hmm. It's about the high school students that get trapped inside of this school who has the only way to get out is basically to kill each other essentially until there's only one left.
A side tangent, you know, Tower God had an episode like that.
Oh, did it really?
Well, it was in it wasn't in the show. It was in the, if you read it, you remember it? I don't know if you remember it. It was like the second tower or something like that, second floor they made it through. You remember what I'm talking about?
I do now. Yep. Yeah. It's like what happened was you had to figure out who was the killer. Like the last moment you had to figure out who the killer was in like this courtroom setting by looking at the clues and then going by who was what and who was where. Very interesting.
I haven't seen Danganronpa in years, bro.
Dog, the games. I played the games. I played both Danganronpa 1 and 2. The games are fucking insane. Insane. They're told like mostly like visual novels where you have to go and like kind of like a Phoenix Ace Attorney. I know you hip to those.
Yeah.
It's kind of just like that, but more gruesome, obviously. some of the best voice acting too, by the way. Like it's quality fucking voice acting.
Those games always got good voice acting too, so the shows probably had great voice acting.
That's a fact. I enjoy it though, but that's what looking like season 2 is about to become, and that's intriguing. Tenji and the girl working together to try to get our boy out, quote unquote stupid boy, which I agree with you. I don't think he's stupid. I think there's more to it than that. We shall find out. And then on to last, but certainly not least, summertime rendering, man. It's fucking with me.
We getting a lot, bro.
It's fucking with me.
I feel like what's fucking with you? I feel like we keep getting details.
Yes.
And we've been getting more and more. Hear me out.
I'm listening.
Hear me out. Every episode connects so intricately.
Yes.
But sometimes I feel like these episodes ain't even connected, bro. And I don't mean it in a bad way. I mean, like, you get so many details in some of these episodes that, like, if you put them together and completely isolate it, that might actually be a good place to start.
You are speaking right now, bro.
Because, like, what's going on here, bro?
I don't, like, it's it blows my mind every time, because exactly what you just said is exactly how I feel. I'm like, yo, what? When you think you have some idea, you have no fucking clue. Now to figure out that Shinpei is like his best friend's dad. I think his name is Sho. His dad has something to do with this shit. He wasn't picked by father. Now, was she referring to their actual father? Obviously, she was. Or was she referring to the quote unquote the father of the quote unquote mother? And I asked that question knowing I'm thinking to myself, it has to be her real father, right? But then I think, oh shit, this is summertime rendering. It probably isn't. So like, I don't know. Like, it's her. I don't know. I just don't know. The fact that she's not a shadow blew my fucking mind. I'm like, oh, what is
right?
What now? If you think about the fact that
families work with the shadows.
Yes, the fact when you think about that, when you go back to the festival time when she was standing on the top of the stairs and she said, "I'm so sorry for this. I'm so sorry." She was saying that to, "I'm so sorry, Mia," or some shit like that, and then she got fucking killed. Now that all makes sense. So why she was apologizing, because she had everything to fucking do with it from the start, and you won't even think about that until you realize that she's working with the shadows the whole time.
and not even first of all, you spitting. Let's talk about real quick how last episode we got to see this like baby-esque shadow with missing half his head.
Disgusting. Hated it.
And I'm thinking, like, when watching this, it's like, why is this shadow in this form? Because I find it hard to believe that it copied a baby with half his head chopped off at this size or whatever, right? Like, it didn't make sense. It didn't make sense on how it looked. But now we see, in this episode, we see Hiroko, or the original Shadow woman, right?
Mama.
We see Mama, who grabbed our boy, right?
Yeah.
And what makes it wild to me is that now we can most easily just draw a conclusion that these are her children, that she's probably just produced these shadows herself independently. But we also see that we got like sea anemones, sea coral, all kind of stuff that's supposed to be at the bottom of the ocean as shadows down here. And it's almost like, what are the limitations of these shadows if this is what they can do? We have our current shadow friend, Ushio, who had to delete part of her arm because that damage, that wound is consistent and is still there.
Because she can't scan the original to reheal.
And we don't know how that affects her in the future if he dies again.
Exactly. And oh my God.
And then we get to see him kind of like, you know, because they kind of break down the conversation a little bit, right? He's going for it, and he's not turning back right now, even though like it's dangerous, right? And they know that whatever it is, they're getting ready to get to an actual like point to where they can understand the story why he ditched his weapon when they got here, right? And it's because obviously he wants to see what he can before going back in the loop.
Yep.
But was that a bad decision? Because you know who he just saw,
Mama,
who he
bro.
just came face to face with.
That was my thought exactly, because I'm watching this entire episode. I'm like, fuck. Okay, so I get it. His plan is to find out as much information as he can to take back with him in the loop, because he knows once he loops, it advances forward in time, which means that he has less time to loop before it catches up to the festival date. Which completely makes sense. I rock with it. I rock with it because you gotta set your save points properly. Shout out to Subaru who still hasn't learned about that quite yet. But
right,
I digress. The fact that you meet Mama, bro, you might lose that fucking eye. That's where I'm thinking, I'm like, yo, this is probably a mistake, because you have a chance to now lose your eye because you fucking met Mama.
But I have one more thing, Polo. It was her name, Hizuru and Ryusuke.
Yes.
Versus the Shadow and Shiori's Shadow. And we find out that they can tell that he's shifting in time in terms of perception by 2 seconds.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
But who is Ryusuke to them?
What part of Mama does he have?
Exactly. And they called him a different name, didn't they? What was the name?
I forgot. It was
like Heinz or Haynes or something like that. It was something with like an H. But he means something to them.
Yep.
Because they recognized him and
yep.
who he is.
You spitting.
This show,
crazy.
And I know I could have said this for episode of the week. I can say this for episode of the week every week.
Absolutely.
But they give us so much information without giving us that, like, without telling us it's the information we need to know. Every single time, bro. It's
unbelievable. It's literally unbelievable how good it is. I don't get it though. Like, I don't get how it's this good. I still can't fathom the way that this is structured, written, like where, where. I don't fucking know. I don't know. Incredible, man. Incredible. It can't be stopped.
Undefeated.
Let's wrap.
All right. We just finished talking about Summertime rendering all of its greatness. Obviously, I know we rock with it, and we hope y'all rocking with it too. Tamagotchi Game had a great finale. That was a great last episode. That was last episode, right? Yep. Yeah, it was really good. Spy Family, we excited and ready for core 2 of Spy Family. Yo, it's been consistent, mad consistent. Let us know what you thought about that song during that break. And get to know my check waifu. We asked what anime gets you in your feels. Obviously, Polo's is gonna be Clannad, and mine is Steins Gate because it's doing too much sometimes, bro. We also had a great Overlord talk. And we appreciate y'all rocking with us from episode season 1 to season 3. Let us know what your final thoughts on season 3 and what you expecting coming into season 4. And we talk about Polo praising Overlord like it was Grimgar because Grimgar is a masterpiece, and there's a lot of details in this current Overlord. So our sleeper picks, Polo chose Call of Night, and a lot of y'all chose it too. So it better be good. I chose My Isekai Life. So we watching those two for sure. And we'll kind of structure the rest of the season around that. Some of the best stuff that we gave a lot of stuff that we are not sure we're going to be watching. We gave y'all our sleeper choices, our top 3, and our list that we excited for in terms of, we both excited for Made in Abyss. We both excited for Classroom of the Elite. Me specifically on the Shadows House, and Polo real big on the Devil as a part-timer.
Yes.
And we appreciate y'all for all those questions. Our episode of the week was Love After World Domination, and Shikamori is not just a cutie. And that's been episode 158 of My Check Waifu.
And you can follow me on. That's been episode. How'd it go?
It's been episode 158 of Mike Check Waifu.
You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at Paul.
And scene. All right. And that's been episode 158 of Mike Check Waifu.
Dog, I'm drawing fucking blank right now. I don't know how I end this shit. I'm at Polo Borfly on all social media. There it is.
I'm at King.
I'm keeping all that. You can follow our social medias
at King Telly on all social media.
You can follow our social medias at Mike Check Waifu on Twitter and at Mike Check Waifu on Instagram and TikTok. And as always, Mike check.
Polo, bro.
Did it work?
I don't think it worked for me, but bro.
Oh well.
He said that's been what episode 150.
We out.
You're now tuned into Mike Check Waifu.